Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I am so happy that I was not the popular kid in high school. When I was in high school, we would have like these sets, you know, and to put it short, set one they would teach the hardest of things. Now we were all learning at the same, well, not necessarily pace. We're all learning the exact same thing, but the higher the set in class, the quicker they would tend to learn, and academically speaking, they'd be a lot more ahead. Set one was the most advanced. Set four, they learnt the slowest. They were taught at a more slower pace. Now, I was an underdog my whole life. I was one of those students they would work really hard, and despite working really hard, revising super hard, they would still get poor grades. I was one of those students in high school. And when you're one of those students, you're looked down upon by everyone around you. Everyone's too quick to, say you have disabilities, something like that. You suck at learning, you're stupid, you're doomed for life, you're disabled, you're autistic, you're fucked in the head. All those comments I experienced, I know what pain feels like, believe me. And I remember when I was doing my GCSEs, I actually received aid. I had some form of help for my GCSEs. And I don't regret it looking back. I believe it was very helpful. The total pass rate was 100. For the Americans watching this video, by the way, this was for my SATs. So it's basically your exams before you go into secondary school. I put the school system on the screen. And so I did that, and I received some form of aid. I remember there was another brother with me. Went to my primary school also. And it was primarily based on maths and English. I recall passing maths. No, I passed English and I barely passed maths. I believe I got about 102 looking back. I still remember vividly. This was about 8 years ago now. Close to 8 years ago. I was 11 years old. My teacher called me outside the room and she showed me my grades. She said I had about 102 out of 100. Something along the lines of that. And then I remember I got 99 out of 100 for maths, right? Fast forwarding a few months later, we go into secondary school now, and I remember the person I was sitting with, how we both received help for our GCSEs. He was on set 3, and I just found it extremely fascinating how you're treated differently, just through one set, being one set above, and we got similar grades. He just had a little bit more than me. And long story short, he didn't receive the disrespect that I received, and power to him. But from my perspective, it's like, shit, this underdog shit is still going to continue. I don't know what I did wrong back in the day, but I always got a lot of hate from people. I don't know what the fuck I did wrong, honestly. Looking back, even now I'm confused. And it just gives you that realization, and you can be a kind person, but will still find a way to fuck you up. Me as a kid was a testament to that. Spoken down upon. Fast forward into secondary school, that just intensified. Bigger underdog story, bigger hate, looked down upon even more. Like I told you, the harsh names I'd be called like I told you in the beginning of the video, the harsh names I would be called, that carried on there, and I was perceived very low. It was almost like the bottom of the social hierarchy in a schooling sense, constantly looked down upon. And I actually have 2 close friends who I met, and they've been my friends for nearly 8 years now. Come September, met in 2017. We were also in the same class also, and we'd also get spoken down upon, shitty words, really lowering our self-image. Now, one of them managed to thrive, and he's still thriving to this day in terms of self-confidence and whatnot, and I'm really proud of him. He's a great guy. I think he knows who he is. He doesn't know I have a YouTube channel, but he'll probably find it at some point in the future. So, Damon, if you're watching this, shout out to you. Then I had another friend with me also. Bearing in mind, both these people are very smart individuals. They were just perceived very low by the rest of the people in a year simply due to the class that we were in. It's fucking dehumanizing looking back. The second person I'm going to mention also doesn't know I have a YouTube channel. And I know I said one of their names, and I'm going to say the other person's name also. Primarily being everyone has their names, so no one's gonna know which type of version it is. So Mason, if you're watching this, shout out to you also. I know I don't have a channel, but in case you run into this video in the future, I appreciate you, man. So the 2 of them, And more so going back to myself because it's about me. Now, when I did get older, when I was about 14, 15, 16, the hate did start to slow down and, you naturally gain more respect. And that's like with everything in life, when you grow older, people are going to respect you a lot more. And that's the beauty of growing up. Hence why I actually don't want to go back to my childhood years because, yeah, people are very rude. And, I'm a teenager now, I'm only 19 years old, but I can see it for myself. Being outside the school system and whatnot, you're primarily surrounded by people over the age of 18. It's a nice feeling, man. Everyone's so kind now. It's great to hear. I remember in my church days, every time I told someone my name is Golden, I'd get laughed at. Quite literally. Now, I told someone, like even last year, I was in the park. I was doing a group workout session on a Saturday. It was March 2024, so I was 18. Literally just turned 18 at the time. I said to this 25-year-old, asked me what my name was. I said my name was Golden. He said, that's a sick name. The warmth it gave me was unparalleled. On another occasion, a few months later, the same scenario happened. The guy was also 25. And he asked my name, and I told him my name was Golden. He said it's a cool name also. And it always was cool. But you're surrounded by the wrong people. So they laugh at you, I remember. And no shade to those people now. I still see them to this day. But they're a lot older now. This was like 10 years ago. Of course, they're going to be really mature. I mean, I was a dick in some way, shape, or form when I was young too, but I wasn't that much of a dick. Come on. I feel like I made a bit of too much of a tangent, but going back to the main point as to why I'm grateful for not being the high school popular kid. Well, it's not until you leave high school where you truly realize the things you prioritized in high school really didn't matter. I was a horny kid in high school and college as well. Naturally, having the desire, fueled on testosterone, you're gonna have those thoughts. I was constantly just thinking about fucking as many girls as possible. And I was, for the most part, now I did have my exceptional days where I actually speak to the stunning class women in terms of looks and whatnot. But for the most part, I was one of the shy kids, man. Looked down upon. And I was one of those good kids. I never really spoke too much. I was just the silent kid that sat at the back of the class, or maybe even in the front. And I went through a period where I barely got attentions for like the next 3 years of being in school. I just realized everyone's getting the attentions. It's really not that hard to not get the attention. Just shut the fuck up and do your work. And I was one of those students. And obviously when you're being exceptional, you attract haters, right? And I remember I'd always do my work done, and my English teacher would always praise me for it. And rightfully so, that comes with the territory. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's beautiful. But then there was a hater at the back, and he'd always talk his shit. And he tried to knock me off my grind. And he was one of the people who'd always get, called out by the teacher via the form of corrections, which is essentially just bad behavior points. If you do something wrong, you get correction. You get 3, you get detention. He'd always talk shit, and he'd try and knock me off my grind. He'd say, "Oh, Golden's doing the right thing, Golden's doing the right thing again." This was before the teacher came into the class, right? He'd always go like, "Golden's doing the right thing again. Oh, Golden's always so good." He'd mumble that behind me. And as you know, I felt very insecure at the time, so I just purposely tried to become a bad kid, and it's just not in me, man. I didn't feel like myself. I was like, fuck. I'm getting called out for doing what should be expected. What the fuck? And I look back now, I don't hate him anymore. I actually quite like the guy. Going towards the end of the year, he's a cool guy, so I have nothing bad to say about him. But I use that story as an analogy. And there'd be times that I'd be walking to one of my friends, we were friends at the time. Someone go, "Oh, shut up, Golden, you're set 8. Yeah, set 8. I'd like a fucking plague. But that doesn't matter anymore. That was 3 years ago now. One reason why I liked college also, because you're out of the high school environment and everyone's just from different high schools, and you just come into college and no one knows about the kind of person you were back then. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of being an adult. Well, we were treated as adults in college, so even back to now, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm gonna end the video off by saying this: it doesn't matter. I don't need to worry because I was never popular in the first place. I don't need to worry about what anyone thinks of me anymore. I was never popular. I've never existed for the most part. I was just that kid in high school. Yes, despite my name being very special, Golden. I never spoke much, and you may think I speak much now in real life. Believe me, I do not. It's because I'm in a camera, it's mostly my comfort zone. Well, not really, because I'm outside. Most of an introvert, I prefer my own company, but we're outside in the nature, which is nice to see. But yeah, I never spoke much in high school. I never really got my name out there or anything, and so that's something I craved. I craved social validation from other people to make myself feel good, and it's a very feminine trait. Yes, I do believe to some degree, comparison and the need to gain validation from other people is completely normal, it's human nature. But from the people who don't even care about you, it just really, and for me to have craved that, just really speaks levels to how immature I was emotionally at the time. I'm glad I experienced it at a young age, as a teenager. So going forth into my 20s by next year, and throughout my whole life in general, matured in that regard. A lot of character growth was done during those 5 years in high school. But, going back to now, I'm grateful that I wasn't the popular kid in high school because no one knows who the fuck I was. And they still don't to this day. So everything I do, I'm really building everything. I'm really building everything from the ground up. This brand, audience, everything. I'm documenting just how my thoughts increase as I age, I guess. And I can really become something now, and I don't need to worry about what other people think of me. And even if, let's say, worst case scenario, people from my past did see my videos now, well, you never cared about me to begin with, so why should I care about what you have to think about me? As of now, I only have 4 friends, 4 great friends. That, plus 3 amazing siblings, a mum. I have myself, I have the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ with me, and icing on the cake, I have a decent sized audience. Not the biggest, but they're watching my videos, so I believe they relate to me in some way, shape or form. Now, I haven't met the majority of them yet, but I believe at some point in the future I will. In short, without rambling on too much, I can literally just build myself up from the ground up, and even if they were to see my videos again, it's like, fuck, this guy changed. Of course we changed. Have you not? There's life that does that to people. So I can literally navigate and build my own road now. And it allowed me to change my identity. There's a reason why I shaved my head last year. It's a new me, it's a new beginning. And I'm very excited for 18 and beyond. I mean, I'm 19 now, but 18 and beyond. I was thinking like this when I was like 16 because I knew when I left high school I can become whatever I want. I can change my identity and not have to worry about, why are you changing? I'm free. People in my past are gone. You can act however you want. Preferably good, but you can build yourself up from the ground up now. Once you're out of high school, life truly begins. Education truly begins. Let's go.